Did Germany or the UK sell more battery electric vehicles in 2024? Which car makers are pooling CO2 emissions together to meet targets? What were the major automotive takeaways from this year's CES? This is the Automotive Update presented by Autovista24. I'm journalist Tom Hooker, and you are listening to the Autovista24 podcast. Today we're going to explore some of the top news stories from the past week. Firstly, the German and UK new car markets had contrasting results in 2024. December's registration figures were released this week, revealing that the UK market recorded full-year growth, while deliveries in Germany declined. The drop was largely due to a slump in battery electric vehicles or BEV deliveries, which fell by 27.4%. This meant the country lost its title as Europe's biggest BEV market. Instead, the UK narrowly overtook Germany, thanks to a 56.8% BEV surge in December. Meanwhile, hybrids led the German new car market for the first time last month. The technology accounted for 31.4% of deliveries in December. This was its highest ever share, and only the second time hybrids represented over 30% of the market. Hybrids surged by 26.7% in December, its biggest year-on-year growth of 2024. This equated to 70,570 hybrid units taking to Germany's roads, only the third time it's broken the 70,000 registration threshold. To learn more about how both countries' new car markets performed in 2024, check out the articles on our website. There'll be a link in the show notes below. Talking about the UK market, the government confirmed on Monday that it will be bringing the sales ban of new petrol and diesel engines back to 2030. This deadline has changed on multiple occasions over the past few years. It was first announced in 2017 with a target date of 2040. Then, in 2020, this was brought forward to 2030 before it's pushed back to 2035, which was confirmed in 2023. A consultation is also currently taking place to consider which powertrains can be sold in the new car market between 2030 and 2035. Car makers are pooling CO2 emissions with Tesla and Polestar to meet the EU's 2025 regulations. This means manufacturers with lower electric vehicle or EV sales can buy emissions credits from other brands that are comfortably meeting targets. This will in turn lower their overall average and potentially save hundreds of millions of euros in fines. European EV market leader Tesla is teaming up with Stellantis, Ford, Toyota and Mazda, while Volvo, Polestar, Mercedes-Benz and Smart are pooling emissions together. Each car maker has its own CO2 emissions target, which is determined by the number of vehicles it sold in 2021 and the EU's overall average target of 93.6 grams per kilometre of CO2. We hope you're enjoying this episode so far. As the Autovista24 podcast is hosted on Spotify, you can let us know your thoughts on the app. We are also available on Apple Podcasts and Amazon Music. But no matter where you listen, be sure to hit subscribe. And check out Autovista24's YouTube channel as well. There you'll also find our What Is Explainer videos, launch report series, and other webinar recordings. A webinar on our 2025 residual value outlook will take place at the end of January. I'll leave a sign-up link in the show notes. Finally, sign up to our daily email. Just head to the bottom of our homepage. Now, back to the headlines. CES took place this week, and there was no shortage of automotive stories. Software-defined vehicles, in-cabin user experience, and AI were standout themes at the event. Sony Honda Mobility revealed more details about its new Afeela model, which is now accepting online reservations, but only if you live in California. Honda presented a world premiere of its two prototype models from its Zero series, while also introducing its original vehicle operating system, which will be implemented in the models. Meanwhile, BMW showcased its Neue Class saloon and SUV, as well as lots of in-cabin tech, which will be introduced in all new BMW models by the end of 2025. Further announcements at the event were made by Nvidia, LG, Bosch, Mobileye and Intel, but to get the full rundown, be sure to read our in-depth CES review articles coming next week. There were numerous model announcements this week. Skoda unveiled its new Enyaq on Wednesday, a facelifted update of its EV SUV with an increased range. Elsewhere, Renault revealed the interior of its Twingo E-Tech prototype at the Brussels Motor Show. The model is set to arrive in 2026. BYD are also present at the event, and introduced the BYD Atto 2 to its European lineup. The all-electric compact SUV will begin sales in February. Toyota's new urban cruiser made its first public appearance at the show, another compact EV SUV that will be rolled out in late summer 2025. Genesis took the covers off its redesigned GV60 crossover SUV, featuring a new exterior, with more details expected in the first quarter of this year. Xpeng and Volkswagen have announced plans to jointly build one of the largest super-fast charging networks in China. With a target of over 20,000 charging piles operated by both car makers across 420 cities, customers of Xpeng and VW vehicles will be able to access the services. Rolls-Royce revealed expansion plans for its production facility in the UK on Wednesday. More than £300 million, or nearly €358 million, will be invested into its Goodwood site. This will be used to extend its bespoke and coach building capabilities, while preparing for the brand's transition to BEV production. This is the largest financial commitment made to the location since it opened in 2003. Unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. Don't forget to check out our companion article on AutoVista24. There will be a link in the show notes. This episode was co-produced and fact-checked by AutoVista24 editor Tom Gegas. Additional thanks go to AutoVista24's special content editor Phil Curry and web editor James Roberts. The music was Better Find a Solution Fast by Richard Ames. Thank you very much for listening to the AutoVista24 podcast.